Welcome, everyone, to episode 21 of Boom Mike Banter. I am Nick. With me today is a fucking cavalcade of motherfuckers, because we have just gone through Sober October, and I am so glad to celebrate the end of it with Wildon.
What up?
Stork. Hey. And his lovely girlfriend, Rachel. Yep, Rachel, you have to say noises sometimes. But anyway, guys, we're fucking done. It's fucking over. We finished Sober October for an entire month. Yes. Applauds all around. Yes. Applauds all around, everybody. There it is.
Feel good.
So, the first thing that I want to ask to just completely fucking get it out of the way. Biggest struggle? Biggest takeaway? Does anybody fucking have anything? Anybody? Anybody words, phrases, things?
My biggest struggle was that I couldn't have it.
That makes sense. That's a big, it's a big old obvious.
That was the biggest one for me, personally. Not that, I'm not really a big drinker myself. I don't, get drunk all the time. But, it was more the fact that you can't do it.
It was the limit that you had to put on yourself that was making it frustrating.
Yeah, because I normally don't choose to do it, but, there are some days where I'm just I want to have a beer while I'm playing Smash Bros. With the boys.
Exactly. I totally get that.
And I can't do that, so...
Yeah, my biggest thing was, it was just... For me, I was actually totally fine, because, I'm only, a social drinker. That's my big thing. I only like drinking when I'm hanging out with other people. I really don't, don't get me wrong, if it's, a really long day of work, I'll maybe have, one drink or something. But I can't go, I had a long day of work, so I'm gonna have, 5 drinks on my own. I can't fucking do that. It's just not my thing. Not to shade anybody that does. It's just not fucking me. So that was the thing of, oh, that's not difficult. But the more challenging side of it for me was, I was hanging out just as much socially. So that was, trying to retrain my brain of, oh, everybody else is doing that thing. I just have to make sure I, take a back step. But it was kind of nice. It was kind of nice for me because then it got me to more, realign of, oh, I can still definitely have fun and still cater to having fun without putting alcohol in it. I can still be enjoyable and make sure that I'm having a good time without alcohol having to be a fucking prerequisite to make sure that I'm fucking laughing / crying of laughter by the end of the night. Right. That's my whole thing. Wildon, takeaways, things. Wildon, you're a fucking vet of this too, by the way. So
this shit was not easy.
Yeah, he does this shit once a month.
Every other month. You do this a lot.
This is the first time
full scale. This
is literally the first time I went every other on purpose. Mm-hmm. The other times were accidents. Mm-hmm. But no, for some reason, this month in particular was a little bit more difficult because I had a lot more stuff happen socially that I wasn't really used to.
Yeah, you were hitting a lot of parties and shit too.
I mean, that's a normal thing.
I
feel like I need to be able to be out and be social.
Oh, 100%.
And be able to enjoy myself without having alcohol, which really wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
It was just more certain situations where it'd be dang, this is it would be a team building exercise, or it would be let me see, just a team party or something like that. Hey, Halloween. We had a Halloween party that was actually pretty dope, but at the same time, my boy was making some really nice drinks, and I'm just
just looking the whole time shit.
Yeah. No, we did a team building exercise at our manager meeting up in King of Prussia.
Did you really?
They put us in a hotel for a night. And
really?
Yeah, it was a 2-day manager retreat.
Holy shit.
And they took us for the team builder after the first day. They took us axe throwing, which I had never done.
I've seen a lot of fucking white people do that lately.
Dude,
that's such a fucking white people thing.
It is
such a white people.
Believe it or not, our trainer was black, and he was the fucking dopest. His name was Jason, and he was awesome.
He's saying dope because it's black, but anyway, keep going.
But
what?
But though, Gimli knew how to throw an axe.
But yeah, no, it was legit.
Was it fun?
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
It was really fun. I learned how to throw an axe.
I would hope so by the end of it.
Oh! And backwards.
What is is there a trick to throwing it underhand?
Yeah, actually. It's low and slow, like a ballerina. You are, as Jason would call it, you are the ballerina of the steel.
There we go.
And you would just... It's an art form.
There it is.
That's about it.
You just watch him throw it. We're whoa!
No, it was very. It was
like
very.
A fucking Matrix.
It was a very manly thing, though. Definitely a lot of testosterone.
How many women were there?
There was 2.
There we go.
2
I'd
women.
murder a man with an axe.
Yeah,
it was fucking awesome though. They had one-handed ones. They had two-handed ones. And dude, when you nail a fucking bullseye in the middle of there, dude,
That's the peak.
I was.
That sounds like your highlight of the month.
Babies
now.
that night.
This is turning into a whole different thing. Was that your highlight of the month?
It was pretty awesome.
That was
not
pretty,
gonna lie.
fucking dope. Where'd you go?
It was a place called Bury the Hatchet.
Oh no, I know that, but you said, but they got a hotel.
Yeah, it was,
Where was the hotel
Best
at?
Western.
Oh, okay.
Literally across the street from King of
That's
Prussia.
fucking hilarious. Holy shit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fucking dope.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, so we got like a place to stay. It was, they paid for it, but
That
it was
sounds
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
So on top of your sobriety, there was some cool
we went out. We went out. No, but it sucks because like all the fucking managers, I literally met all of my new because I moved to a different district, so I met all of the new managers that like were in my district, and I was also meeting up with all my old manager friends who I still talk to, and like we all went out to Buffalo Wild Wings afterwards. And like everyone's
such white people things. It's such white people things. This is all white people stuff.
Everyone's getting fucking shit faced. And,
of course, Buffalo Wild Wings. I watch the game, drink a couple drinks, have some wings.
Which the wings were
throw
garbage,
up. Yeah.
First of all.
Well, first of all, I don't want to drink and
garlic
have
parmesan,
wings at the same
but yet
time.
they were more spicy than garlic parmesan.
Well, my whole
I
thing,
don't understand.
that's my whole thing. I don't understand why you would have a copious amount of alcohol and then chicken wings. Like, I don't want to have that mixed. If anything, I'll enjoy both of those at separate points in the day. I don't need to have them both at the same time.
Though. I don't know. That's about it.
That's my thing.
I would do it if it was the boneless because there's a
then you just go. Then you don't even have to think about it.
I got boneless chicken wings for garlic parmesan, and they were the lowest on the spiciness scale. But yet I was eating them. I was like, "This shit's fucking spicy."
I don't fuck with spice. That's my whole other thing. I don't fuck with spice at all.
I don't either. I fucks with buffalo.
See, I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
No,
I'm an Italian man. I fuck with flavors,
like
not spice. And I appreciate spice. I'm just not a spice connoisseur.
It has to have a purpose. If it's not, like if it's not flavorful, then I'm not messing with it.
Yeah, then they're just fucking with heat to fuck with heat.
If I can use it as paint thinner, and it doesn't taste any good, then why am I doing it?
Thank you, Wildon. I'm actually very glad you said that. So fucking
It's not really a Thanksgiving type of meal, but
it's not. It's not. You've made it.
I made mac and cheese last year from scratch.
Okay,
from scratch.
Okay, you say that as a brag. Fucking 15 people made mac and cheese.
I don't do that. Okay,
15 white people made mac and cheese
from scratch ever. So I was pretty impressed with myself.
I'm just saying. The thing is, I had to go super fucking out there.
I missed the cookies last year, man. I was actually really sorry about that.
Yeah, I had to go super fucking out there.
I bought a fucking 4 different bricks of cheese and then shredded them myself.
You did 4
different cheeses.
Mac and cheese?
Yeah, for that mac and cheese.
Why didn't you preface it as 4 cheese mac and cheese then? You just told us you made mac and cheese.
Yeah, I made mac and cheese, but the whole thing was from scratch.
But do you see what I'm saying? You should have labeled it as 4 cheese, like, because
advertising.
Yeah, for example, if we had like
because no one's gonna give what kind of cheeses were inside that mac and cheese.
As an Italian, that matters a lot.
That matters a lot. If you
it's a big fucking deal.
Oh, hey.
If you just As opposed to ricotta to bruschetta, that's a big difference.
I remember the cheeses. It was mozzarella, it was Munster, it was provolone, and it was
that's a big deal.
Gouda.
Why are you saying that that's not a big deal? It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Those cheese matter.
That one first.
Yeah, there was 4 different types of cheeses.
That's a huge deal.
I took Cheetos and I smashed them up into an almost powdery form. I layered it on top and I threw it in the oven.
Why didn't you say that?
Thank you.
Dope.
That sounds dope as shit.
I think I had it.
I would have respected the mac and cheese 18 times more if you would have told us the process.
What did you make? You made meatballs, didn't you?
I did the full. Yeah, I did lasagna and meatballs. I did both.
Right. You did.
I did both.
Honestly,
You're both right.
They were both really good. I remember those.
Yeah, thank you.
The meatballs were especially good.
I tried very hard.
Yeah, yeah. The meatballs were especially good.
I just got a turkey, and that was it.
Hey, listen.
Actually, I do remember that.
Don't discredit a turkey, Wilden. A turkey was a very good job.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So let me ask this too, by the way. So to preface to listeners, by the way, we do a Friendsgiving every year where everybody brings their own. It's essentially a big old potluck is the best way to describe it. Everybody brings their own thing. Everybody tries.
Emphasis on the pot.
Yeah, there we go. It's ironic enough for a man that doesn't smoke weed anymore. But anyway, does anybody have what the fuck they're gonna bring this year?
I think this year, like I said, I'm either going to make a buffalo chicken dip.
I would do 4 cheese mac and cheese again, and then just tell me that you're doing 4 cheese, and I'll respect it more.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't really go wrong with mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
Just don't do macaroni salad. If you do macaroni salad or whatever the fuck. What the fuck was the other one? Like 18 fucking... Oh, no, it was macaroni. It was mac and cheese everybody fucking made. Mac and cheese with breadcrumbs. Like 86 fucking white people brought that, and I was like, God fucking damn it.
No. It's... No.
Oh, pumpkin pie. That was the fucking other one. Yeah. 13 fucking people brought pumpkin pie.
Everyone fucking brought pumpkin pie.
Everybody bought a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, but nobody brought pecan pie, and that shit's fucking delicious.
You want pecan pie for Thanksgiving?
Dude, I always have it for Thanksgiving.
Do you really?
Yeah, literally.
You should bring your own.
It's like my grandmother's like fucking...
Specialty?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you should probably just bring
You should just bring your own.
People probably don't know the wonders of pecan pie.
Dude, pecan pie looks like a fucking troll took a dump in a fucking tinfoil.
You're not advocating pecan pie right now.
But it tastes like a troll made it in fucking heaven and then took a dump in it.
You're still not advocating how good pecan pie is.
Trolls are fantasy.
Right.
Okay.
It's a fantastic
so it's
dish.
magical.
Yes, exactly.
Magical dish.
Okay.
I'll tell you
Take
what.
the word dump out of it.
This pecan pie, okay, for instance, I never ate it. My entire
I love
life.
every part of it. I love every part. I never ate it.
Never
let me tell you how good
ate
it is.
my entire life because it looked like dog shit.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's fair.
It looked
That's
like
fair.
shit with nuts on top. Okay? I
doesn't
never
look that
touched
bad.
it. And then I took a bite out of it at 23 years old, and I was like, what have I been doing to myself?
This is the best biography I've ever heard in my entire life.
I've been depriving myself of this delicious fucking dessert my entire life because it solely looks like shit.
It does look really derpy.
It does.
Yeah.
It does, but it tastes delicious.
There it is.
Quite curious.
A man in pecan.
It's fucking delicious.
Man
I
in
love
pecan.
it. It's
That's
one of
the
my
new
favorite,
novel
if
that
not
Stork's
my
writing.
favorite pies.
Then just
It competes
bring it.
really well with the Burger King's Hershey chocolate pie.
Now you're throwing fucking audibles out. I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. You're throwing Hail Marys. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just gonna let it go there. I'm gonna let it go there.
The day of pies, we made a blueberry.
See, I'm not a big
apple.
pie guy though. That's the thing.
Blueberry and apple, dude. You give me a blueberry and apple pie,
Blueberry's
I'll die.
garbage. I hate
Okay,
blueberry.
now you're just saying things you don't
Blueberry's
even mean.
fuck blueberry.
What's wrong with blueberry pie?
Fuck
Thank you, Wildon.
blueberry.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
It's like,
You
hey,
don't like
I'm trying
enjoyment?
to be a flavor, and I'm not.
What do you mean
It
trying to be a
actually
flavor?
is a
Blueberry
flavor.
actually is a
We did it
flavor.
We did it with
Fuck
artificial
blueberries.
and regular, and they both tasted great.
Stork, you know what you're confusing? You're
blueberries.
confusing strawberry and cherry of
I'd
being the
rather
weird
have-
artificial
first of all,
flavor of the other.
Fuck cherry. I like the flavor of cherry. I don't like cherries.
This kid's whack.
Damn.
Whack. Whack is the word I would use.
Like
just
cherry
haven't had a
Coke.
good
Cherry
one.
Coke is slamming. I like the flavor essence of
Whack.
cherry, but actual cherries, fuck them. Okay.
What?
Don't like them.
I don't
Be
know about
black,
all
right?
that.
Blueberries fucking blow. I hate blueberries.
You're absurd.
I love blueberries.
You're
I've
a
had
fucking
blueberries
crazy
and I'm
person.
like, man, this is nothing because it is nothing.
You're thinking
Because
of
it's a
grapes.
Garbage.
He's thinking of grapes.
tier. I would rather have a grape than a fucking blueberry.
That's water.
Okay.
You're just eating
Fuck
water.
blueberries.
You're being
You are
alright.
so
You're being
angry
absurd.
at
You have to calm
blueberries.
down.
I do.
You have
I
to calm
fucking
down.
hate blueberries.
But they're so good for
This
Don't
is-
like them.
This is what happens. Stork needs another sober October because he's aggressively violent
'em.
against blueberries.
Fuck
No,
blueberries.
but
Okay.
blueberries.
I hope you listen
Hold
to
on.
this, fucking Brant or Brunk. Fuck them. Fuck blueberries.
There we go. Calm down. Rachel, you had a point. You had a point to
Apple
bring
is
up.
better than blueberry. That's all I have
Apple
to
is
say.
better than blueberry. I'll eat an apple pie over a blueberry pie 10 times
Okay.
over.
I will eat an apple
On
pie
most
over a blueberry
occasions,
pie,
yes.
but I'm not discounting that.
No,
they're
blueberry
delicious.
pie's phenomenal.
They are.
Blueberry's
like
my
Brent-
strong second.
You know,
We had-
when I have a
we had
muffin
them
and I
both,
think it's
and
a
they were
fucking
very, very
chocolate
good.
chip muffin, and then I taste the blueberry.
Blueberry
I
muffins
throw
are
it
phenomenal.
away.
You're being
I
ridiculous.
Throw it
That's
away.
Shut up.
The muffin's
Thank you.
fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's the muffin being like, hey, look, I'm dressed up pretty, and then she turns around and it's just like, no.
Hershey turns around?
I don't-
Blaming
I
the
don't-
human and
use your
not the
words.
muffin.
Fuck that muffin. Okay,
You're being
shouldn't
absurd.
exist.
Blueberry
fuck
muffins
the
are
human
phenomenal.
Shouldn't
that
exist.
mislabeled
It shouldn't exist.
Blueberry muffins are phenomenal, and you're
They're
being a
actually
crazy
blueberry
person.
muffins.
They're actually
Gotten
really
to-
good for you. But
What other flavor? Hold on. What other flavor would you prefer in a muffin besides chocolate? Because chocolate's already a weird flavor for a muffin. On a side note, on a
Okay.
side note, for typically being a breakfast meal, chocolate's already weird. So,
Okay.
all right, fine. You have your
Okay.
pick. Pick any other thing in a muffin.
Honestly, for a muffin,
For
I
a
would pick
muffin.
something zesty.
Zesty?
Zesty.
What?
Get off this podcast.
Yeah.
Zesty
You're like-
for
yeah.
a muffin
You're like
is never a
lime?
word I would use to describe.
Not like a
Thank
lime,
you,
but
Wildon.
maybe a lemon. Maybe like a
For a
lemon.
muffin?
Yeah, dude.
You're
I wouldn't
being
mind it.
You're being a crazy
Maybe an
person
orange. I don't know.
now. What are you putting
No,
pineapple on pizza?
no.
What the fuck?
Why
You have
not?
to get out.
Poppy seed.
Okay.
Poppy seed.
That hurt my ears, and it's gonna hurt the listeners. I'm gonna have to debuff for that for 20 fucking years after that fact. Oh, tell it to the person who had to listen to it. So anyway,
I mumbled that, so.
Yeah, it was true. It's very true. From a distance. Okay. The other thing that we have to bring
Bottom line of the story is fuck blueberries.
You're absurd. You're a crazy person.
Yeah,
you're on an island of fuck blueberries.
That's fine.
I know, I do. I have to censor out every time you even say fuck blueberry. I have to censor
away this shit. I don't give a shit.
You're
okay?
absurd. You're a crazy person.
Fuck 'em.
You're an
Fuck 'em.
angry. You know what, Stork? Since we've been
Don't like
drinking since the beginning of this podcast, you're an angry drunk, Stork. That's why you're just hating on blueberries. Why? Because they're blue.
No, not November.
Because they're blue. You're not doing that.
Yeah.
You're gonna nut tonight. Fuck. No, not November. You're nutting tonight. There's no fucking way you're getting through that.
It's a lie. No.
It's 100% a lie. No man is going through. That's also extremely unhealthy.
Andrew was like, I'm pretty sure that's unhealthy.
It is unhealthy. It's fucking horribly unhealthy.
DSB.
There it is.
It's a real thing.
It 100%
DSB?
is. Yeah.
Doesn't sperm build up.
It seriously is. It's a huge fucking
It's like a
problem.
bowl of pudding.
No, gross. And also, the problem is you just can't be used to. You just can't be used to. Don't ever use that word ever again. Ever.
No.
We had an acronym.
No.
You had an acronym, and then you made it 30 times worse. All I'm saying is the whole thing is you can't go from a regulated system of we'll just say in the nicest way of all time releasing to then going from I'm just not going to release for 30 days and see what happens.
It's called painting.
No, it isn't. It's called dying. It's called dying.
It's called squeezing the tube.
There it is. Rachel, it is called fucked up. No, the problem is it's not
Someone
fucked
pull
up.
up the
And there's
scholarly
the real
research. And then we'll go
literal.
from there.
Take the literal sense of it. There it is. There it is. The strain approves it.
Pun.
Yeah. No, it's not a pun. It's just actually the direct sense of the word. Yeah, wordplay is a good way to use it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
playing
fair.
with words.
Just drink your bottle and hate more blueberries. There it is. There it is. Okay, so I want to bring this up because I brought this up in a solo episode of the podcast, and this is also bananas. I apologize to the listeners because we're drunk and we're just trying to figure shit out this moment.
I don't apologize.
There it is, because Stork hates blueberries. If you like blueberries, fuck you from Stork. Otherwise, from every other normal fucking human being. Stork, I talked about this on the solo episode, but obviously I wanted to bring it up on this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot to share, but I did want to bring up my consensus view because the movie just came out at the same time.
Right.
Joker came out.
Yes.
And Stork, you've been jerking off this movie 36 times.
I have.
Me and Wildon have seen this movie, and Wildon, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like we have a general agreement or consensus over what we both think of the movie, I would say, right?
Yeah.
I'd say it's fair.
Yeah.
All right, good. I get Wildon's approval on that. But Stork, you've seen the movie 3 times.
I have.
And you want to fucking ramble your fucking ass off about this, so please, the floor is yours.
I have many thoughts.
By all means.
Many thoughts about this
Okay,
movie.
so what do you think?
Let's go.
Honestly, it gets better every time I see it.
There it is.
That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, what I was trying to tell you earlier,
There
the
it
scene
is.
that I was fucking really pissed off, and it
He's
pissed
very
me
mad.
off every time I saw it
I
afterwards.
really,
too.
by the way, I hope it's not my favorite scene in the movie.
It's not going to be your favorite scene.
Okay.
I guarantee you're going to agree with me that this scene does not need to exist. Okay? It is the scene where, spoiler alert for anybody who has not
I already
seen
prefaced that in the
okay.
last
I'm
episode,
just
so
making
just go
sure.
for
I
it.
can't
That's fine.
remember.
That's
Okay. So it's the scene. It's about like in the close to the third act of the film.
Okay.
When when Joaquin Phoenix walks into the chick's apartment and she's just like, "Oh,
That's your
you're
least.
in-
This is
you're
your
in-
least favorite part of the
This is
movie?
my least favorite part." And she walks in, or he walks in, and
walks
he's
in.
like,
He's
"I had a
crying
bad
and losing
day."
his shit. Yeah,
and
yeah,
she's like, "You're in the wrong apartment."
yeah.
And then they instead of
The whole thing is
instead
fake.
of everyone just being like, "Oh shit, the whole thing's fake," they fucking go through this
Through
whole
every
backstory of like, "Oh yeah, she's not there in this scene. She's not there in
Yeah.
this scene. She's not there in this scene."
Because first of all,
it doesn't need to exist.
first of all,
at all.
audience viewers are dumb.
We're not that dumb.
Some
not
people are
for
dumb.
that scene.
Some people are very
not
dumb.
that scene.
Some
okay,
people are dumb.
That right there, that's the execs coming in and be like, people aren't going to get it.
Yep.
They need to put that
Some
in there.
some
Or they
moviegoers.
preview the movie.
The movie.
Fuck.
It's
Right.
okay. We're all there. Rachel,
Yeah.
we're all drunk. We're all
They
fine.
preview
Yeah.
I was very
the
upset.
movie.
Yes.
Honestly,
It's
that's
true.
probably my least favorite scene. If it didn't have that scene, I think it'd be a perfect
Stork, let me
film.
ask you this: do you have a favorite scene of the movie?
I do.
Go for it.
Actually.
By all means.
I do. One of... All right.
I can tell you mine if you don't have one immediately. God
Okay.
forbid.
Probably, it's not even that big of a scene.
That's fine.
Really?
My favorite scene is a subtle scene.
Okay. My favorite scene, honestly, is when he's writing. It's when he's writing in the notebook.
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, and I think this is like close to the beginning part.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
Just describe the scene.
And
Don't worry
he's
about the
writing.
time.
He's writing in the notebook,
Mhm.
and he was like, the worst part about having a mental illness
There we go.
is when is that you have to act like you don't have
a
one.
mental illness.
Yeah, or
So-
people expect you to act
like you
don't have one.
My favorite scene of the entire movie, and I wish if they would have kept this tone of the movie, the entire movie, it would have went from being a great movie to like the most phenomenal movie.
Right.
Where the short person is getting made fun of, and Joaquin is laughing, but not actually laughing. He's doing the tick where he's laughing and he's trying to stop himself, and he leaves the room and he's laughing as he leaves the room, and he goes ha ha ha, and then just cuts and then clears his throat and just goes right straight into it. And if they would have had more scenes like that, I would have loved it, because in that moment the audience viewer almost looks at it and you have like a 50-50 tinge of like, wait, can he control it or can he not? Because he cuts it so quick. Like, that's the only scene in the movie where it goes from him being able to not control it to him being like, and then just immediately stopping it. And I wish we would have had more of those moments, because almost like you brought up before, where there was that not sure, unsure of like if the whole thing's real or unreal or bonking it over the head. I like more if the movie would have really dove in on the like whether the audience knows if it's real or not, and just kept going fucking for those
One
moments.
thing that I've noticed, one thing that I've noticed, especially with rewatches of this, is that Joker has a few different laughs in this movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, there's genuine laughs, and then there's the tick laugh, which are very different.
Yeah, he has his genuine laugh where he, obviously finds something hilarious,
actually funny.
Yes, he has his tick laugh, where he legitimately can't control it.
Yes.
Which, by the way, he did not get the reason why he even killed those people in there is because he was reaching for his piece of paper to hand to them, and the lady did not give it back to him in the subway. By the way, the lady didn't give it back.
You mean the dude where he kills the 3 people in the subway?
He was reaching for it to give him the piece of paper, and he didn't have.
But he pulled out a gun and shot them.
Yeah, afterwards when he was on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but he was also.
You were saying that before, like
right.
Yeah,
he doesn't have that piece of paper to give to them.
I got you.
To explain that he has that.
I mean, either way, that doesn't change the scene that much.
No.
Choosing to shoot them as they beat him to the
it
ground.
definitely does not change the scene. But
that
I
is
think
interesting.
One thing is that this movie it's definitely in a more serious tone.
But
this movie comes in almost like a roller coaster. You have this gradual rise, and you're just like, oh shit, we're at the peak right now.
Yeah.
And then you kind of fall.
No, I'd say the opposite. I think the whole movie is one big hill climb.
It is.
Because I think at the end of the movie you hit the apex.
Yes,
I think at the
but
end of the
you
movie
have
you hit the apex.
one thing that I noticed is that you have
Bingo.
like you have the first big scene where you're just like, oh shit, he killed 3 people in the subway.
Yep.
Okay, after that it kind of tapers down after that.
And speaking of which, though, one thing that they did do in the part of the movie that I love, and I talked about this in the last episode, so I apologize, but the one thing that I actually love is, so when he does kill those 3 people, in the back of your mind when he first shoots down the first 2, you go, okay, this was reactionary. They beat him to the ground. He might not know if he's living or dying, so he shot them out of reaction.
Right.
Okay, so that's still unsure of whether his morality on the situation. The dopest fucking moment that the movie chose to do was the fact that the dude who got shot by the random bullet is still crawling, and that he walks after him and guns him down. That's when you go, oh, he is deliberately killing them. It's not self-defense anymore. He 100% chased this motherfucker down and gunned him down. That's when I went, oh, dope. Like, the movie is 100% eventually gonna pivot this fucking guy into that direction.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it gets pretty. There's moments where you kind of see like he was just like, oh, he's actually kind of enjoying like what he's doing.
Well, please, the 15 like the only really big criticism I have is, like, don't get me wrong, I understand the importance of artistic expression. I like the dance scenes, but they could have cut out one of the dance scenes. Like, I get it. When he murders, he dances. That's fine. But, like, we don't need to do it. We don't need to do it every fucking time and have a 3-minute segment. Absolutely. 100%. See, my thing is, I like the first one. I like the first one where he guns the 3 down the subway, and then I like the end one. But the middle one, I'm just like, okay, now he's dancing too much. He's dancing too much. He needs to stop dancing. It's too much fucking dancing.
It's a slow burn, man. It's a slow burn, man.
It's a long burn.
Just let him dance.
Yeah, that last scene was probably my favorite because it was a little bit of a homage to the Dark Knight.
Yes, 100%.
He was in the police car.
Yes.
That was dope. But there were a lot of nuances to that movie. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around all of it.
It's true. I was about to say, there's a lot to take in. The other thing is, too, and me and Wildon have experienced it both.
I was going to say, I do want to talk about one scene in particular.
Sure.
It's probably, honestly, it's not even as fucked up as the last scene, but it's...
We'll fucking dabble into it.
It's the one that made my jaw drop when I first saw it.
Sure.
Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And it's right after his mother dies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in his apartment.
Well,
and he's
by the way, he kills his mother.
Yeah.
Let's just
preface that.
Yes.
Yeah. He
preface that right
murders
now.
his mother.
Kills his mother.
Okay. He's in his apartment.
Yep.
Okay.
Painting
his face. And his two old coworkers come in.
Yep.
Okay. And the shit goes down where like his coworkers are like, yeah, we heard the police officers were coming to talk with you and they're stopping by our office.
Place to ask
we
what the
just
fuck
want
is
to make
going
sure
on.
that you're not, saying what you didn't say anything weird.
Yeah. And the one guy's baiting because he wants to double check if he ratted on him for giving him the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously the fucked up shit happens with the scissors.
Murdered his fucking friend and yeah.
But if you notice, he does purposely lock the door.
Yes, he does.
Beforehand.
Well, because keep in mind, he's still unsure whether... you can tell he's unsure of whether he's going to murder both of them or just one. Mm-hmm. That, I think, was the big... And that's even why the movie intentionally kind of stretches that scene out of, like, even as the viewer, you have no fucking idea how... that you don't... Like, when he murders his friend, you still then don't understand the level of unhinged he is. Mm-hmm. And then the movie goes intentionally out of their way to then explain that. If he went to lock the door to kill his one friend, but his one friend was still very nice to him the whole time, so obviously he's not going to kill him. So they make sure to, make the audience kind of wait on bated breath of, like, whether that decision's going to happen or not, and then clap them with that. Which I thought was a great scene.
When I first saw it, that was probably one of the most like brutal scenes I've seen in a long time.
And that's the other thing. I'm actually glad you said.
I knew that was I knew going into it. I was like, this is a rated R film, and it's in it for violence and gore.
The thing that fucked me up is
that one. It was just like a switch. Yeah. Like a switch.
The thing that fucked me up though the most,
0 to 100,
is this movie's propaganda ahead of time was bullshit. Mm-hmm. They talk about violence in movies. Fuck that. This movie is not that violent as opposed to what I would consider a violent movie.
Yeah.
This is not that out of the scope of violence.
If you've seen the movie Martyrs, that movie's a fucking
100%
gory movie.
Well, when they're talking about movies that are violent, it's just like I could list off easily 30 movies more violent than Joker. Yeah. But obviously they're doing that as a publicity thing.
The problem
but it's just frustrating that that's what it has to come down to.
And it's almost like the movie is kind of glorifying it. It's like
an R-rated DC.
Glorifying it might be a weird way to phrase it, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's what they're
emphasizing is a good word to say.
That's what they're perceiving.
Emphasizing is a good word to say.
Yeah.
Because it definitely personifies it. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that I will still say, Stork, that you still have to do is you still have to watch Taxi Driver. And when you watch Taxi Driver,
I fell asleep during that.
I know you have to watch it. You just have to watch it.
Honestly, though, there's
you didn't fall asleep watching it. You fell asleep starting the movie. Like the movie probably put in the opening credits. You saw Martin Scorsese, and you're like, "Nah."
But yeah, no, I still have shit I need to talk about here.
Here we go. That's why you have the floor.
So the final act, okay.
Sure.
My first 2 times, seeing this, I knew going into the final act that he was going to do his final I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah,
they do
they
a
prefaced
lot
it.
of foreshadowing.
Yeah, they prefaced it a lot.
He
literally role plays it. He literally role plays it.
Yeah, he definitely does. That he's going to kill himself. But it wasn't until the 3rd time that I was just he was going to do it up until
the minute Robert De Niro makes the joke and clowns him for it. 100%.
Up until the minute
100%.
And he's standing there smoking the cigarette and I was
thinks
just
about it.
He's flipping the switch.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
Definitely flipping the switch.
He goes from killing himself to, no, I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah.
That's, yep.
Just I don't 100%. Care what happens. This is how it's going to go down right now.
1,000,000%. Yeah. See, it's funny, when you said after watching it 3 times of, references, honestly, and all I was thinking the whole time, here we go.
Also, real quick, this one...
For the people in the back.
Yeah, this one's pretty interesting, because if you've seen the movie, okay...
At this point, I hope people have seen the movie.
That Joker and Bruce Wayne are actually brothers. And
well, they try to bait and switch you with that for the beginning of it.
They do. They paint the picture that they're actually brothers.
They almost got me.
They did. They almost got me too.
They almost got everybody.
But upon pondering it and watching it, okay, if you watch the very last act, okay, it's right towards the end.
Yep.
Okay, he's looking in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Of in his room, basically, and he grabs a picture of his mother. It's a very old picture.
Yes.
Okay, and on the back of it, it says, "I love your smile."
Yes.
And it's
signed by Thomas Wayne.
By T.W.
Yeah, Thomas Wayne. Yes.
So after going through that whole thing of just like, yeah, I'm not your father, blah blah blah. But then you have that last little scene.
So here's what I took.
You can think what you want, but this is just my interpretation of it. Okay. You have this last little scene of his mother's picture, a personal picture of his mother.
Yep.
Signed
a selfie, essentially.
Yeah, signed by Thomas Wayne.
Yep.
Just I love your smile.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is just oh, okay, well maybe
that's a real possibility.
Maybe that is actually a real possibility,
So
'cause you don't know what's real and you don't know what's not.
That's kind of true, but also here's the thing. I think Joker, ironically enough, as much as people want to blend what's the truth and what's reality, I actually think Joker kind of sticks a pretty straight line with it. The only thing that makes you really question...
But a lot of it's up into interpretation.
I know you're saying that, but I'm just saying this. All I'm saying, this is my interpretation now. This is my turn.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is they drive a pretty straight line. And here's why I say that. Number one, the big the one that makes you go, oh fuck, how much of the movie is real, is the fucking girlfriend scene, which you already talked about, which you don't know if the girlfriend's real or not.
Right.
The only other scene that I would say that really goes kind of out of their way to make you go wait, is that the thing or is that the other thing, is the actual very, very, very last scene of the movie, where he's laughing and then the fucking psychiatrist is like, what's so funny? Are you gonna tell me the joke? And then he goes, you don't get it. And that...
He's like, you wouldn't get it.
That could be taken as a 50-50 of one, he's either... One, because they keep cutting back to Bruce Wayne, and one either thinking, okay, he's kind of actually realizing what that mental trauma could do to a kid to then inspire some other crazy thing. Because you know there's no way he's thinking, oh, that kid's going to be Batman, because that doesn't even make sense. You clearly just go, oh, that kid is either... Or he's either thinking what that kid could become, or the other thing, which is he completely made up everything. He completely made up the entire fucking backstory of the entire fucking movie.
In the very beginning of the movie, it even...
They say that he was at a mental hospital.
When he's having his conversation with the social worker.
Yes.
So he's just like, do you remember what happened when you landed in the psych?
Bam! And that fucking cut to his head slamming against the thing. And that's what I thought would have been really cool, is if you don't know if he's just making this whole thing up as his own thing. Mm-hmm. That's the only time where I really question, what if. But otherwise... Every other scene kind of so that Thomas Wayne one for me personally, I just literally thought of it was him just literally throwing some arbitrary, because he's going in for a politician role. So obviously anything he says is always as a politician, mentally if him even playing to go for shit like that is obviously taken with a grain of salt. Also the fact that his fucking mom was fucking delirious. For me, when I saw that was what I took it as of, oh, that was that was the note that Thomas Wayne left for her to then go, for her to have any type of evidence to go crazy from.
Right.
For her to take that note and go, oh, Thomas Wayne loves me. That's it. And then go that crazy from there. That's what I took it as.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I said, I of course, the movie is up to interpretation. People can interpret it as they however they want.
Right.
But I think the movie walked a relatively straight line. Like I said, there was a couple that threw a whoa, but for me to think the whole
right.
Here's a really dumb example. Inception is a perfect example of the way the movie ends. You don't know how to interpret it. Before they talked about the director actually coming up with a conclusive ending. The fact that the top is still spinning and it kind of wavers and you go, oh, and then you have literally a 50-50 divide of people going yes or no. This one, I feel like it's a 20-80. 20 people percent go oh, thing, and 80% of people go nope, it does this, and this, and that stuff. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I really like about it is that the director took a heavily influence from
Scorsese.
Not Scorsese, actually.
Well, 100%
Well,
Scorsese.
yeah, okay. If you want to get the nitty gritty, yes.
It's not nitty gritty. It's actually very generic.
No.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. Thank you. It's literally...
Killing Joke is what I'm referencing, Nick.
Oh.
Okay.
He took the premise
of
killing,
the Killing Joke,
not the
where
end
the
result.
ending has a multiple choice, not a one direct ending.
What are you talking about?
Didn't people pick?
What are you talking about? Multiple choice?
Yeah, in The Killing Joke, the Joker says that I like to choose my life.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right.
But they didn't...
Took that.
But they didn't do that.
Yes, he did.
How? In the movie?
Yeah.
How did they do that?
You don't know how... Just like you just explained, dude.
Well, like I said, that's
don't know if
that's
the
the
whole
premise
you
you
don't
take
know if
from
the
it.
whole thing was just made up in his head by
Yes.
that ending scene.
That's true.
Killing Joke really did.
Or if you don't know,
Well, that's a great point.
you don't know if the whole thing actually happened, or did it happen?
That
So-
actually fundamentally changed a lot of characters in the DC universe.
100%. So Stork, I'll preface you of this because I'm not trying to argue with you about it, but I will say this: if in the movie he would have said that line, that would have sealed the deal. If that I have personally, I have a kind of big issue with the ending of the movie. Because honestly, I would have loved if they just would have taken that whole that mental hospital scene out of the movie.
Right.
If they literally would have had them cheering at the very end of the movie and cut it right there when him standing on top of the cop car and everything's like burning and everyone's like, yes. Personally, that would have been the end of the movie for me. The only thing that I had was like, if you're going to put him back in the hospital and do that thing, then have him say that line. Have him say, I love to create my own beginnings, or like, every time I start over, I like to start over anew. Like, then the audience gets that general appeal of like, oh, fuck, we didn't even know what the fuck this movie is about. Shit,
Right.
like, this could have been a whole alternate
there's
fucking
just a
story.
lot of shit that goes on in this film where you're just like, you don't know like what actually happened and what did. Like, for instance...
It's a debate of that.
That
Let's
is
just
a
leave it at
classic
that.
Joker
It's a
story,
debate of
though.
that.
Like, for
yes.
instance,
100%.
yeah, like with
100%.
this, like with
Killing
this fucking,
Joke is still
with
the
his
best.
girlfriend that you find out is actually like not his
Yes.
girlfriend. Did he actually murder her? You don't know.
No,
And
he
the
didn't
next,
murder her.
Yeah, and
There's
then
no way.
in the next scene, he's sitting alone in his apartment.
Yes.
No clothes on. He's just wearing his boxers.
Just
You hear an
hanging out.
ambulance outside. You hear commotion running outside of his apartment. You're like, I don't know what the fuck just happened to them.
That's true.
I did not actually notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit that happens.
That's
so.
true. It's very interesting. I will say this. So the movie for me was, I felt very back and forth the entire time watching the movie, but I would still overall say it's a very great movie.
Yeah.
That's what I want to
say. It's right now in 2019.
Yes.
It is my favorite film. So
And that's
far that we've
hey,
gotten.
that's totally valid, dude. Though there's
At least
still
until Star Wars comes
there's
out.
still
We'll
I was
see.
gonna say there's still a couple movies I still need to see in
I haven't
2019.
seen Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite looks great. It looks
think I've even seen the
so
trailer.
good.
No.
It looks so
I haven't seen the
good.
trailer.
Gotten
I did watch
such
the-
good reviews.
It looks
I did watch
so
I
fucking
did watch
good.
The
Like
Grudge
Master
trailer.
Class.
but that's
Yes. What'd you say?
it. I said I watched the Grudge trailer, the reboot. for that.
Oh yeah.
dude.
That looks silly.
It's a reboot, a whole reboot. Of the
It's
series.
exactly what they're doing with the Ring, which they did like 3 years ago or some shit. It's
Yeah,
like
I
the
saw
same.
something.
It's the same
I
fucking
can
thing.
make that noise too. It's whatever.
Yeah, it's the same fucking
Just
thing.
let it
Everyone
out.
can grow.
Now, what's Parasite about? What's that all about?
It's not what it sounds like.
Yes.
Just completely.
It's
remove
not
it from its
Slither
title.
because you're thinking of it's probably
It's not
sounding
a
like
parasite,
Slither. It's not
about
that.
the idea of a parasite.
Bingo.
Interesting.
You have to see the
It's
trailer.
about Oscar-winning movies
Oh, wow.
and what that means.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
It's very
It's
like meta.
The director's like masterclass version of a movie,
Okay.
from what I've heard.
All right. I'll watch the trailer
Which-
for it.
Yes.
There's a lot of good fucking reviews.
Yes.
And I'm excited about it.
It looks phenomenal. I'm very excited.
We watched The Lighthouse. That was
Mm-hmm.
pretty crazy.
I was that seemed nuts. Was it really good?
It was good.
I've been
I liked
kinda
it.
buying
Just
it up.
don't listen to anything, just go see it.
Just go see it.
Just
Yeah.
go-
That's what I was thinking about doing.
I yelled at that at an entire class, and I was like, oh shit, that was a little aggressive. Oh well.
Oh shit! I stepped out way more of my social comfort zone than I normally did.
Yo,
Whoops! I showed my true self.
miss,
I gotta
miss
put that
some people a
away.
little bit. That's
Put it
alright.
away.
No, wait. What'd you say, Wildon?
No, seriously, I've been to like everyone's been raving about it, and I'm not even sure why. I've seen
Just experience it. It's not even. It's just.
There's a lot of great monologues.
If you've ever read
in
a
Seems
that
book,
intense.
movie.
if you've ever read a book that you've enjoyed, just go see it. Go see it.
Just go
'Cause
see
it's
it.
very literary in how
Mm.
it portrays
That's cool.
metaphors.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
I like metaphors that don't bonk, like, because
'Cause,
Stork, what
like
you kind of brought up
Joker,
before, yes,
yeah.
they bonk you over the head with like, hey, get
I
it,
hate
stupid,
that. I'm like,
here's
I can
holding your
fucking
hand.
read.
Yes, exactly. I like when the metaphor makes you have to think about it.
I actually did want to talk this one out with you guys.
Oh, by all means.
What's the metaphor for him going up the stairs, all depressed, up the stairs, all depressed, and then down the stairs, all happy and shit, dancing?
You can make it simple.
I think you literally wording it that way is the perfect way to describe it. Of being depressed is like an uphill battle, and then being
finding yourself.
Exactly, finding yourself and or like letting happiness like fill you is like an easy. It's an easier process.
Like
it's an easier process to
down
be.
The stairs, whether or not it's good or bad.
Exactly, it's easier to go down the stairs than up the
I thought you
stairs.
were talking about lighthouse there for a second, and I was like, "What fucking stairs are you talking
What?
about?" And then I
It's
was
a
like,
lighthouse,
wait,
dude.
Joker.
Yeah.
No, he walks
there's
up.
some stairs.
There's
in
some
there.
scenes.
So I'm assuming it's a lighthouse.
Yeah.
They're probably
There's
a fucking
scenes.
yeah.
There is
Yeah.
actually some scenes
There's
with
some
it,
shit.
but I
Don't
was
spoil
like,
it.
oh,
It's
nah,
still
this
too
is-
early.
Yeah.
Still too goddamn early.
But no,
Gotta
I
see
get
that
it.
shit.
Yeah.
No, I was
It's
taking
just
my
a
time with
fun
that one because they went out of their way to show up the stairs.
Yep, down the stairs. Yep. It's very true. Yeah, but that's exactly the way that I personally took it. Of like, yep, it's the battle, and they intentionally show those scenes. Like he's intentionally going. It's just like you said. Like he's intentionally going upstairs in difficult scenes, and he's intentionally going downstairs on easier scenes, or dancing on like scenes where he's finally feeling like his true self, or like that there's some levity. Like he finally can relax.
I will say a good portion of why this is
100%.
probably my
The morality
favorite
is
movie
back and
is
forth,
Joaquin
but
Phoenix himself.
No,
as
he
a
kills
character,
it.
destroyed.
No, he kills it.
Destroyed.
He's like
We were never really here.
Oh, it's the best movie. It's one of the best. It's one of the best.
No, it was so good.
It's so good. That movie is so fucking underrated. My favorite thing about that movie.
I mean, Lynn Ramsey is just to go watch the movies.
100%. My favorite thing about that concept of the movie is they intentionally go out of the way to avoid the action. Yeah. And you feel jarred when you're like, if you first watch that movie, you're jarred from it because you're like, the buildup of what's in a typical movie, you're completely robbed of.
Yeah.
You only see the weird aftermath or the weird off scenes of not actually watching the physical violence of it and then getting the gratifications. Also,
there was that last scene, though.
There is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, listen,
that kind of took me. I was just like, oh,
they're hitting.
okay.
Yeah, they hit you over the
head.
head.
Hits,
yeah, exactly.
At the end.
That's where they make you wait for it, as opposed to giving it to you throughout the movie. Because it's not like Joaquin Phoenix doesn't murder a bunch of people throughout the movie. He fucks up so many. He fucks up multiple houses of bad guys throughout the fucking movie. But the end one is finally when you go, oh my god, and they finally fucking give it to you. So
just go watch it.
Exactly. The mental strain that puts you, like, that's a movie.
I watched that and I was like, he'll be a good Joker.
Exactly. No, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
The movie does a great, like, that type of movie is such a good 50-50 of you're enjoying the movie and then 50% of the movie is your own psyche while you're watching the movie.
Like, Gladiator showed he could be crazy.
Absolutely.
But we were never.
Which apparently that was pretty toned down, honestly.
Oh, the real person is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
crazer than they showed.
Way crazier. Because they had to try to make the movie more realistic to the other people around.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a way better. Actually, you said it way better than what I would say. Palatable is a very.
Palatable is a great word for
I feel
a
like
lot
there
of
were
things.
2 cuts already because some people said they just.
The real person is fucking, like,
Banana
degenerate
pants.
like crazy.
Yep. Fucking banana pants.
Unacceptable by society.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking
but yeah,
bananas.
we were never really here. A great movie.
Yeah. Oh, such
just
a
go
good
watch
fucking movie. Absolutely such
One of
a
my
good fucking movie.
favorites.
So, guys, the one thing I did want to bring up so we can relatively kind of wrap up this podcast soon because we're in like the 45-minute mark now. So, gentlemen,
45.
any major thing that we took away from Sober October? Anything that you're going to either keep going or anything that you want to do post Sober October? So, hold on. While you guys are thinking about that, because I prefaced you a big question here. So, I'm going to answer this one first. So, sobriety, fuck that noise. We obviously just got drunk tonight, so I'm obviously drinking and keeping that shit going. But I will say this, on a maybe not as diligent as I was during the month of October, but definitely throughout, I am 100% going to keep out a workout regime. I'm obviously I want to keep that going. I want to stay on a more healthy thing, because that was a big thing for me of, like, the whole month I felt physically better. Even after maybe the first, like, week and a half or after 2 weeks, I physically felt way more healthy. So I want to keep that going throughout and try to feel better while I'm, But of course, obviously, I'm going to still hang out and fucking drink and have a good fucking time. But
Let me know if you need more programming.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wildon. Thank you again, my man.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing for me. It was like I was coming from like a big like 4-month break.
You took a big break off working out.
So like going back into it, I could already tell. I was like, man, I lost so much strength.
Yeah, that's what. 100%.
I was going from like benching like
way.
150, and now I'm like, oh damn, I'm back to like 125.
Yeah.
Like 130.
That's
somewhere.
not that bad either.
But
by the way,
even still, like I maxed out at like 175. Like that was like from like peak lifting. I was like, yeah, I can do 175.
Well, you're a big lifting guy too.
I love lifting.
I was about to say you're a big.
But I will say,
see, I'm either if I'm gonna lift, I'm a deadlift guy. That's me.
I lift until like I can't move anymore. Pretty much.
That's not healthy. You shouldn't do that. You have to regulate it because your arms die.
That's what happens. Comes to like a four day break.
Yeah, I was about to say, and keep in mind, and not to step on your own toes, well, so I apologize. I'm not a personal trainer, but I just know that that's not the way to do it.
Elliptical, I go hard on.
See, on a good note,
I watch like an episode of something on Netflix. Yeah, zone out.
We'll see a perfect example. See, Wildon showed me a really good example because I almost used to do the same thing. My brain used to think like, oh, I have to work out until I'm exhausted, and then that's when I know I'm done. But Wildon showed me a really great way of showing that like either a long endurance form of repetition, or if you just put in a higher weight and then make sure that you regulate in between your reps, is a way better way to still feel. Because Wildon, thank you on a side note, because like Wildon showed me a great workout plan where I honest to God felt like I was dying the times I was doing it, but at the same on the same note, I would also wake up the next morning and actually not feel that sore. And that was a big difference from when I used to work out completely on my own of like, oh, I used to have to bust my ass. And back in the day, I used to have this mental stigma of like, oh, if I'm dying the next day, that means I did a good workout. But it's not. Like there's
very counterintuitive.
Exactly, 100%, because you have to recover that much longer, and you almost end up fucking yourself because you have to recover that much longer. Right. It's harder to work back out and keep the muscle active.
It's more so people end up hurting themselves. But like, if you think about it this way, if you're able to reduce the volume a little bit and train more times out of the week, it's a little bit better than training one time a week and taking several days off.
Yeah.
So that way, even at lower intensities, you'll be able to dial in on technique a little bit better.
I don't know who it was, but Joe Rogan's podcast literally had like a dude that was actually
Brazilian
for
jiu-jitsu
that
guy. Yeah, he's
for
like
that type of. He was just like honestly, he's like I do lower reps and lower weights. He's like I don't do big weights.
Well, it's endurance.
He's like I can train more.
Yes,
basically
100%.
He's like I can train every day.
Well, and that's good for his sport. He's training specifically for his sport. But the thing is, like it depends on your goals. Like
100%.
If you want endurance, like you want to be able to last long, you got to train in certain ranges. For like your rest breaks are gonna get a bit lower. If you want muscle building, you're gonna have to figure out certain percentages, which is normally like 70 to 80% of your one rep, and then just kind of rep that up for 10 to 15. If you want strength, then you're gonna have to lift really, really, really heavy for way lower reps and way longer rests. It just really depends on your goals. So that's another thing to consider. And it's not that you can't train every day. Generally, most people only need to train like 3 days a week. But at the same time, if you have specific goals, then you have to train up to those goals and work up to that level of frequency. It takes time. A lot of people, and me included, when I first started training, was just I thought the only way that I know I got a good workout is if I was unable to move the next day. But it just showed that I was unable. It's just a shock to your system. You're not used to the movement.
Yeah, 100%.
And eventually that will slow down. Like you won't be as sore if you're doing things properly, but that's also frustrating for a lot of people too.
Well, and that was the big thing. Like when you gave me kind of the workout plan, that's what shocked me. Like when you gave me, I think it was, honestly, God, Wildon, I think it was maybe the second workout plan that you gave me, and I started busting shit out, and then literally, I was like, holy fuck, because like right after the workout, I was like, fuck, like I felt it, you know, like I was like, holy shit, like that was a full fucking workout, like oh my god. But I woke up the next day and I was like, I have energy. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I feel good. But then I realized, like, after doing a couple of those, I was like, oh, that's how it should be. Like, you should feel... I mean, of course, if there's specialty training or whatever the fuck's going on, that's very different. But otherwise, I was like, oh my god, like, this is how it should be. Like, I should be able to feel healthy. And if I wanted to fucking work out another day or something, I then have that capability, as opposed to, oh, I'm totally dead. I have to take, like, 86 fucking weeks off, you know what I mean, or like, you know, not fucking work out the next fucking time.
Yeah, I was just happy to help. You all have been really good to me, so it's the least.
Bro, fucking vice versa, my dude. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Fucking open the goddamn doors. Like I said, like I when I hit you up about it, I was such a fucking dummy to the system of like, I only know the generic dude bro way to fucking work out. And that's, I mean, it's your fucking job, so that's where for me it, you know.
But here's the thing though too. There are so many different methodologies out there, so many different ways to do things. I wouldn't necessarily discount any one of them, even if you want to go heavy. Like that, if that's your thing, that's your thing. If you want to go light, cool. As long as it keeps you moving and you're having fun, I don't really care. Just keep doing what you're doing.
It's light.
I think
it's right. It's sleazy.
Just don't say white.
Mick.
Beautiful cover girl. There we go. Tresemme is what Stork's trying to say.
Deluxe.
Jesus Christ. All right, I think Stork. Well, he said beautiful. Yeah, there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so we're hitting the point. Stork's getting a little sleepy. I can already tell. Yeah, there it is. Stork's getting a little bit. Before we even started the podcast, Stork's getting a little bit sleepy.
Well, I mean, the beer helps with sleeping and stuff.
Hey, you know what's great? You know what's great? We all got to drink beer and talk about how beer affects us now because we got after October. Can I ask you guys the silliest question of all time? Do you even jokingly think we're gonna pull this off next year?
Yeah.
Next year?
But I mean, here's the thing.
We should
though.
do surfing next
I would.
year.
Fuck that. We're in Pennsylvania. Do you know where we live? Surfing? What the fuck? Do we live in Cali? We'll surf, dude.
I don't know, man.
If it was a different month, would it change anything?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
if it was a different month,
1,000,000%.
Hell yeah.
A million
God.
percent.
Would it be worth it?
I'll put it like this. I did November. Here's the thing. Any of the fall months are terrible.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
I did November. That was horrible.
Like September's calm.
Yeah, like
Let's do September.
August and
Stork
September
brought that
are
up
the
originally.
best times.
I don't because it's my birthday month. I was gonna say, let me just say this, like even though it's not that far apart, I could easily blindfolded do sober October in March. Easily. Like, March isn't a big...
It's not sober October.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I could do
here's the
sober
thing.
March for fucking that month. And
That's
easy.
my birth month.
See, that's what I'm saying.
There.
Everybody's got their own fucking month
And
like that.
it's also my anniversary month. Cause
that's big. That's big.
Like, we started dating...
It's a big deal. How long have you guys been dating, Wildon?
A year and 9 months.
Good for you, dude.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for fucking you, man. Almost in that 2 years.
Actually, ours is in April.
Nice.
There it is.
It was the day after St. Patty's.
Oh my god, hold on. Let me preface this real quick before we wrap this up. You fucks. I forgot to give you shit about this. I hate both of you motherfuckers.
Whoa.
Because you guys had to not deal with... Oh, no. I have to only throw shade for 10 seconds. Because you guys had to... You guys got a hall pass on not dealing with one of the worst parts of doing Sober October.
What's up?
Which is being on a date with someone. And then trying to preface with them why you're not drinking. So I went on 3 dates in the month of October, and 2 of them went relatively fine. One chick was like, "Oh my god, Sober October, that's awesome, that's so deep," and then I was like, "Cool, let's fucking go for it." But there was one chick who pretty much thought I was an alcoholic, but I had to try to preface with her of like, "No, I'm doing it because my friend recommended it. It's off a podcast, and we're just fucking doing this thing for fun." And then she was like, "Oh, but you have a problem?" I'm like, "No, I just drink for fun." And then she's like, "Yeah, that's what alcoholics say." And I'm like,
"Oh my
no!" I'm like, "It's not."
Filter.
Yeah, I'm like, "No, it's
Nice.
not. It's just we did it for fun. It's just a thing that we're doing for fun." I was like, "Shit."
Dude.
So yeah. So anyway, so you motherfuckers got to have girlfriends that are very supportive. And listen, I'm proud of both of you for the fucking lives that you've set. Good. I'm proud of you, Rachel. Good.
My
Drinking
woman's
it.
a bartender, man. So
I know. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, Wildon
Like,
for
every
you.
time I go
When
into
I
the
tried
restroom,
to
it's
grab your drink,
Sure,
I was like, I
I'm
want
good.
some water. And you were like, it's not water.
Was it vodka?
True.
Yeah.
It's a good move.
It was probably one of the Smash nights.
I don't know what it was.
Well, if anything, you should congratulate her because you almost fucked up your night without even realizing it.
Yeah.
I wasn't drunk though, so it doesn't count, right?
No.
Well, first of all, you didn't have to go through Sober October, which but you kind of
I didn't
pseudo-electoral did, which, yeah, kudos to you, girl.
Electoral.
Yeah, kudos to you.
Very political.
Very political. There was a vote.
Electoral.
There we go.
The word.
Electoral college.
It was electoral. It was up to a vote. People voted
That's
on
what
whether
you
for you to
said, I don't
be.
know.
Yes.
That's what you said.
You said electoral.
No, I said something else, and then that's what you
Oh,
said as a
fuck.
response. I said voluntary, and then you said electoral. That's
Cut
what it
all
was.
that out.
Voluntary was singular. Electoral made it seem like there
Whatever.
was, and then Stork got funny, and then went electoral college.
It was a whole thing.
There we go. It was a whole thing.
Whole
More of the
Foods.
story. All of us were for the month of October, but I'm glad we're past it now. We can all drink. We're all going to a fucking party tomorrow night. But anyway,
See Parasite.
yes. Yeah, if you can take anything away from this podcast, only watch Parasite when
But
it
it's
comes
not
out.
in public theaters yet, so give it time.
Yep, give it that indie
Stream
shit.
it illegally.
Indie
you know.
shit.
No.
No.
No, pay money for it, you dumb fuck. It's an
Sorry.
indie film. It needs the money for it.
Remember that 70%?
There it is. There is that real.
That
There's
I
a
was
real
talking about?
100%. There it is.
That was
You heard,
90.
you heard it live,
Maybe
folks.
80.
You heard the ping live, folks. Okay.
Probably.
Anyway, gentlemen and lady, thank you very much for being on this podcast. Guys, thank you for fucking going through Sober October. Stork, go fuck yourself for having us deal with Sober October.
Fuck you.
You fucking piece
You
of shit.
fucking
You
blueberry.
non-loving blueberry motherfucker.
That's
You
very
fucking-
definite.
You're gonna get, by the way, you're gonna get hated for fucking talking in a public forum about hating.
Fuck blueberries and everything they stand for.
You're going to hell for it. You're going to hell for not liking
Blueberries
blueberries.
ingesting, though.
I don't give a fuck. about
Blueberries would
blueberries.
totally help you out.
Thank you,
just
Wildon.
saying.
Thank you, Wildon.
Oh my gosh, they're like the healthiest thing ever.
They are.
Fuck them.
I'm sorry. Stork's an angry drunk, hates blueberries. Rachel, I'm sorry that you have to deal with his non-blueberry
I
love.
don't like blueberries either, so...
You're totally.
You're being wrong. You're a wrong
I've never
person.
had good blueberries, so that's not...
You've never had good
That's
blueberries?
just on me.
What terrible life you've lived.
I mean, the way I see it, to each
Deprived.
their own, but at the same time, they are very, very good for you.
I just,
That's the
you
perfect
know,
Wildon
one
response.
One day.
Perfect Wildon response.
Dude,
Million
I
percent.
can't have shrimp, man. I'm still
And
salty.
that's so
about
fucked
that.
up that you
I
can't
know.
have shrimp. That's fucked up. All right, anyway,
I
guys.
couldn't have seafood. I don't know what I would.
Thank you all for
Hey,
listening. Thank you so much for
still
fucking
have fish.
enduring through the fucking storm. And as always, everybody, good evening, good night, and good luck. Goodbye, everybody.
Hey!